Hello, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing a series of videos on the U.S. Constitution Bill of Rights. And for those of you who don't know, the Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution. Go back and review my videos, Know Your Rights, parts 1 and 2. Okay? It's very important we know our rights. Because if you don't know your rights, you don't know when they're being taken away or trampled or violated. Okay? You have to know them, period. So, I've done amendments 1 through 9, and go back and watch that 9th one. It's very important because it basically states that just because a right is not listed in the U.S. Constitution, in the Bill of Rights, that's not all of them. Just because it's not in there doesn't mean we don't have that right, whatever that right may be. Okay. Now I'm going to read this 10th Amendment here, and then we'll discuss it. And this is one of the most important ones in my opinion because it's like a catch-all, because nobody can enumerate everything. Okay, there's no way. Any situation that could arise, our founding fathers knew they weren't perfect. They knew that they weren't, that nobody, no matter how smart they are, nobody could account for everything that could possibly happen. It's just not possible. Hence the 10th Amendment. Now the 9th Amendment is also very important because, if it's not listed in the Constitution, we still have that right just because it's not listed. See, and it's along the same lines as this. Here we go. Amendment number 10. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. Okay? Well, this is important. It's very important. The Constitution, and I've said this many times, the Constitution limits the government, not the people. Okay? So, what this is about here is saying the Constitution lists exactly what the government's supposed to do. If it's not listed here, it falls to the states or to the people. Okay? And this is very, very important stuff. Very important stuff, because there's only certain things our government is supposed to do. Okay? Limited government, very small government. That's what we're supposed to have. And these lefties are trying to expand it to do all kinds of stuff it's not supposed to do. There was a whole bunch of them, so I wrote them down. Article 1, Section 8. Articles 2 through 5. Amendments 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25, and 26. All those. Right there. That lists everything the government's supposed to do, and it's not supposed to do anything else. Okay? All the stuff that the lefties want our government to do is not legal. It's not in the Constitution, and the Constitution is the law of the land. Okay? Now I broke it down into these topics here, and I'm going to read them off to you. This is everything the federal government is supposed to do. Okay. Defense, war prosecution. Peace. Can't read my own writing. Foreign relations, foreign commerce, and interstate commerce. Okay, they're basically they make war on people. They defend our national sovereignty, our borders, border security. Trump's border wall, that's exactly what he's supposed to be doing. Well, we can't have that border wall. Well, no, we need the border wall. That's exactly what he's supposed to be doing. It's national defense. Okay, war prosecution. Somebody messes with us, we got to go mess them up. Boom. That's basically what it boils down to. And the government's good at that. The government's only good at two things: making war and taking your money. That's all. Okay? Everything else they kind of screw up. But this is what they're supposed to do. Right here. Foreign commerce, foreign relations. They're supposed to deal with other governments. Trade deals, things like that. Foreign relations, making sure our stuff abroad isn't getting messed with, that kind of thing. Interstate commerce. Commerce between states, commerce between people across state lines, that kind of thing. Okay, that's the first one. Okay. Number 2, the protection of citizens' constitutional rights, in general, the right to vote, and ensuring that nobody is ever enslaved. So that's a big one. Okay, that came in one of the amendments. When the good guys took away the Democrat slaves, when the good guys made the Democrats give up their slaves, we actually put an amendment in here saying nobody can ever be legally enslaved again. Isn't that awesome? That is freaking wonderful. And the government is supposed to protect people's rights to vote. Everybody gets a vote, and everybody's rights are protected. Okay. Establishing federal courts inferior to the Supreme Court of the United States. The Supreme Court of the United States, the president basically picks a judge, and he goes through a confirmation process through the Congress, and that's how the Supreme Court gets judge nominees. Now, the federal government picks inferior, federal courts inferior to that, not up there with them. Okay, that's one of their duties. Copyright protection. Okay, I'm a writer. I've written 3 books. My wife has a bunch more. My son has one. At 11 years old, he wrote a book. But those books are copyrighted. Nobody can copy them. Anything that's put in there, it's my intellectual property. Okay, copyright protection. Okay, people go, well, you should be able to do whatever you want. No. If I own something that I created and somebody else wants to use it, they got to pay me for it, or they got to ask my permission. One of the two. Coining money. We're going to talk about this one. This is an important one. Okay. Coining money. The federal government is supposed to mint money. I don't care if it's greenbacks or quarters, dimes, dollars, whatever. But that's their job. Okay. In the early 1900s, they came out with the Federal Reserve. Right now, there is an independent, civilian, non-governmental, non-federal reserve, which has no reserve funding. Okay. And they print all of our money. And if you've not read it, there's a book by, I can't remember. It's the name of the book is The Creature from Jekyll Island. And you got to read that book. That book will scare the pee right out of you. Because that book tells exactly how the Federal Reserve was formed and how it works. Oh my God, it's scary. Because these people, these private bankers, whenever we need money and we don't have it, we go to them and we borrow money from them. We have to pay it back to them with interest. Here's the kicker. They don't have any money. They have printing presses. So, say we need $100 million. The government says, well, we need $100 million for blah. They go to the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve prints off $100 million. Boom, we've got it. And they send it out to the different banks. Cool, right? Problem is, we have to pay that back with interest. Okay? Now, here's the downside of that. Essentially, for $100 billion, they may have spent $500 worth of paper and ink. Okay? What's interest on $100 billion? Anybody know? 7%? $100 billion? That's $7 billion. $100 million would be $7 million. Okay, 7% of $100 million is $7 million. So when we pay that money back, these people used about $100 worth of printer's ink and paper, and they've created this colored paper with numbers printed on it, and they give it to us, and in exchange we give them $7 billion. Is that not a scam or what? The name of the book is The Creature from Jekyll Island. Oh my God, you've got to read that book. Actually, paused a moment and went and got it. I own it. It's right here. The Creature... Get a good thing here. Okay, The Creature from Jekyll Island by G. Edward Griffin. Okay? This is a wonderful book. It'll scare the pee right out of you. Because what it does is it tells exactly how our banking system works and why we're in such debt. Okay? Our federal government is supposed to print money. That's one of their functions. Instead, we've delegated that to this private banking firm. They give us colored paper with numbers printed on it, and in return, we pay them billions of dollars. It's a scam. It's a big damn scam. And it's a sick, sick scam. Okay? It's scary, the amount of power that these people hold. Read the book. It's a wonderful book, well written, well sourced. Okay? It talks about the Rothschilds and all of them. You got to read it. Okay, getting back to the thing here. Establishing post office and post roads. Okay, we've got to have mail. Got to have mail delivery. Nowadays, everybody's using email and like that, but the post office is still important. It's how you get your packages and things like that. It's important. Establishing a national set of universal weights and measures. How long is a foot? How much is a pound? Exactly how many grams is in a kilogram? Without a universal set of weights and measures, trade is not possible. You can't trade goods at a set value without universal weights and measures. Okay, it's common sense, and everybody used to be in years past. A foot was however long the king's foot was. You get a different king with a different size foot, and everything changes. And they did this, you go through 10 kings, 10 different foot sizes. There you go. Everything changes. So you got to have a universal set. Taxation needed to raise revenue to perform these essential functions. Taxation is important, okay? And I'm not opposed to reasonable taxes for what the government is supposed to do. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is them taking my money to give it to somebody who's either unwilling or I'm not so much upset if they're unable to work. But nowadays, a lot of it is they're just unwilling to work. Okay? I'm against giving welfare and things like that to illegal aliens because that comes out of our tax dollars. That's not free. The government has no money. Without taxation, the government has nothing. And anything they give to somebody for free, it first comes, they got to take it from us. Okay? I don't know about you, but I work hard for my money. Ain't nobody driving up and dropping a load of money off at my house. I work hard for my money. And, I don't have a whole lot, but guess what? I earned what I got. And I don't like it when people say, well, we're going to take X more to give it to this guy over here who just got here, doesn't intend to become an American citizen, and he just wants to live off the freebies, the perks. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And if you're okay with that, that's on you. But I'm not. Okay? I don't mind reasonable taxes to perform these essential functions. When you get into giving free money to people and blah, 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 Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her, my wife told me what it was the other day, but I can't remember what it's called, universal wage or whatever it's called. It's where they pay everyone a set amount, and whether they're working or not, and people have to have a wage whether they're willing to work or not. That's what they actually said. Is people who are unwilling to work are going to get a wage. This is the Democrat philosophy. They're going to take all your shit and give it to somebody else who's not willing to work for it. It's asinine. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the thing here. The 10th Amendment is so very important. These essential functions that I just listed here, are these 8 essential functions. The taxation was the last one. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, which is right there, those, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. This is a catch-all. Whatever is not on this list falls to the states or to the people. Okay? Now, our forefathers, our founding fathers, were some pretty smart dudes, because they knew they didn't know everything. They knew they couldn't account for everything, and they knew they couldn't include everything in this one document. They knew it. And they knew times are going to change and different stuff's going to come up. So what they did is they wrote the 10th Amendment and put it in there and said, look, basically it's a cover your butt. Anything we forgot goes to the states or to the people. Okay? Because we don't want this federal government getting too big. And them lefties, they're trying to make it bigger and bigger every day. Okay? So, again, this is one of the most important ones, simply by virtue of the fact that it covers so very much. It doesn't sound like it does, but when you think about it, it covers everything that's not in the Constitution. Everything that's not in the Constitution. Okay? So, I hope that I made this clear on what the essential responsibilities are of the U.S. government, and how important the 10th Amendment is to those. Because if it's not listed here, it goes to the states or to the people. Okay? When these lefties keep trying to make the government bigger and bigger, they're violating the Constitution. Period. Okay? There's no other way to look at it. All right. You folks have yourself a good day. God bless one and all.